If you're watching this video, you're probably wondering how to play Dragonhoard. You might be thinking, well, these people all seem to know what they're doing. How can I be more like them? While it does take a few minutes to learn, take heart. The overall loop of a round of Dragonhoard is so easy that my 8-year-old can play it. I promise it won't melt your brain. The premise of the game is that you are a dragon, a creature of legend, which means that you are, in fact, your legend. You are exactly as great as the names by which you are known. So the whole idea of the game is to get these titles, which make you more awesome and earn you victory points in the end. Each title adds something to your name. This number here indicates how many points this title is worth. Point values range from 1 to 5. The costs of the title are indicated here. The resources in Dragonhoard are notoriety, damsels, gold, and food. Each title comes with a legend, which is a benefit, and an infamy, which is a detriment. Next up, let's talk about you. You are a dragon. There are 6 dragons, each with a unique special ability and playstyle. You track your wounds, greed, might, and speed with these colored cubes. Your power pool is here near the bottom of your player mat. Wounds will increase if you lose a fight or combat. Starting around 3 wounds, you begin to lose victory points, but having wounds isn't always a bad thing, so don't worry about it too much at first. Greed, might, and speed will increase or decrease due to legend and infamy from titles, but they can never be less than 1 and can't normally be greater than 6. Magic and rage go in your power pool. These can both be spent to temporarily increase your greed, might, and speed, but there are differences in when and how you can use them. Also note that you gain magic at the start of each round, whereas rage is only gained when something happens that would make a dragon angry. Each characteristic has a particular use. Speed determines 2 things: which dragon gets first pick of the loot at a particular region, and whether or not you are able to avoid a guard. In the event of combat with a guard, or a fight with a dragon, your might score is literally the number of dice you roll. We'll discuss how to determine winners and losers later, but obviously rolling more dice is probably better. And greed tells you the number of resource tokens you may take from a region each day. Objectively, greed is the most important characteristic because resources are how you buy titles to get better at collecting resources to get better titles. The easiest way to learn Dragonhoard is to play through a round of it, so let's set up and do that. Each player receives a player mat, chosen or at random, a matching declarations deck, a matching pawn, a set of 10 cubes, 3 folklore cards, 5 titles, or if it's a 5 to 6 player game, only 4 titles. Feel free to look at your folklore and your titles whenever you like. On the player mat, set the cubes for wounds, greed, might, and speed on their leftmost spots. Place 3 purple magic cubes in the power pool. Set aside the extra magic cubes off of the player mat. Lay out the regions in the middle of the table, arranged in numerical order. There should always be 1 more region than the number of players, and you should always use Region 1, Oceleth, City of Bones. Shuffle the guards together, creating a single deck. The various decks, resource tokens, and dice should be placed in easy reach of all players. Finally, place resource tokens and guards on each region as indicated in row 1 of the populate table. And we're ready to play. Each round in Dragonhoard is called a day and is divided into 5 phases. There are no turns. Nearly all action is taken simultaneously. The 5 phases are populate, declare, encounter, spoils, and titles. For the populate phase, begin by rolling a die. It doesn't matter who does this, and then add resources to each region according to that die roll. That's it. The declare phase is divided up into 3 steps: visit, race, and fight. All 3 steps use the declare deck. Those are your square cards with your portrait on the back. During the visit step, you are using one of these cards to secretly indicate which region you are going to visit. So take a moment and look at your titles. Choose a title that looks achievable based on its resource cost. Later in the game, you might also want to look at the legend and the infamy, but you definitely want to get something as soon as you can. Now look back at the regions. Find one that has the resources you need and that has a guard that you can probably handle. And lay down the declaration that matches the number on that region. Laying down a declaration card is called declaring. One quick note before we move on. If you're playing Nettle, the Black Dragon, you get 2 declarations for each of these steps. And you'll always pick which one you're actually using after everyone else has revealed their declarations. Alright, once everyone has declared, we all reveal our cards and move our dragon pawns to the appropriate region. If there are no matches, then we're all done with the declare phase, and we move to encounter. But what if 2 dragons go to the same region? Well, that brings us to step 2, race. Pick up your declaration cards. We are declaring again, but this time the number you lay down represents the amount of magic you're using to increase your speed. Whatever number you reveal, that's the number of purple magic cubes you must move to your speed tracker. You can't lay down a larger number than the amount of magic you have. Don't wager too hard though. You might need magic later to boost your might to fight a guard, or to boost your greed so you can claim those resource tokens. And reveal. Move those cubes, and whoever has the greatest speed wins the race and moves to encounter. But what if there's a tie? Well, then we fight! In the fight step, it looks exactly like what you did in the race step, except that now the number indicates the magic you'll spend to boost your might. Your might is the number of dice you roll. More dice is obviously better. Here's how dragon fights work. Match up the dice from highest to lowest. The highest untied die roll wins. You can even do a brawl with 3 or more dragons. The loser gets a wound and a rage for each dragon they lost to. The winner gets a notoriety for each dragon they defeated. Then you move to the encounter step in win order. Remember, please, everyone will get their turn here. Losing a race or a fight does not mean you're done for the day. It just means you might not get first pick of the loot. To begin the encounter phase, if there are any guards at the region when you arrive, flip over the top one in the queue. If there are no guards, then go ahead and proceed to the spoils phase. When you encounter a guard, you'll have 3 options: combat, avoid, or retreat. If you choose combat, you roll dice equal to your might stat. If you have magic, you may spend it before you roll any dice to boost your might and have a better chance of getting a good roll. The guard shield represents the minimum value you have to roll to beat that guard. When you roll, do not add the dice values together. It's meet it to beat it, per die. If the guard has more shields than you have dice, you cannot win. Consider a few guards here. The Knight Errant only requires a single 4. This mob of townsfolk have 4 guard shields. To beat them, you have to roll at least 4 dice, each of which has at least a 2 showing. St. George needs a 6. No amount of 4s and 5s will do it. The Black Knight works like a dragon fight. Someone else should roll for him, then you roll, and follow the rules for a dragon fight, with highest unpaired die winning. If there's text on the card, always read it. The Warrior Maiden, for example, robs everyone still at this region of 1 damsel. The Treasure Trove adds a gold, but then you have to encounter the next guard in the queue if there is one. The Helpless Maiden works the same way, and a City Guard is similar. Oh, well, now we've done it. Lord Largesse is one of several guards who make you reveal extra guards from the deck itself. Lord Largesse looks specifically for sentries and archers. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shields to beat. Good luck. In this case, Vexus is fighting the Mechanical Sentry, which requires that he roll a minimum of 2 dice, each with a 4 showing. If you lose, move the guard to the bottom of the queue, take your pawn back home, gain a wound, and 2 rage. You don't get to claim any resources today. Also, note that if you have rage from a previous disappointment, you may spend rage to boost your stats as well. Rage, however, can be spent after you've already rolled, giving you a chance to salvage a bad situation. If you win, the spoils are shown at the bottom of the card. The snatch icon indicates resources you gain immediately upon victory, while anything with the populate icon is added to the region. Usually you'll then discard the guard, unless it says otherwise, such as with Lord Largesse. There is another option, however. You can avoid the guard. This is not running away. It's more like sneaking past them or flying over them. This uses your speed stat. Once again, need it to beat it, but you're looking at their alertness score up here in the top right corner versus your speed score. And you may spend magic or rage to boost your speed. If you avoid the guard, you do not gain any of the spoils on the card, but you will get to claim resources during the spoils phase. Flip the guard face down and put it on top of the queue if you avoided it. If you cannot beat the guard, nor can you avoid it, you can always go with combat just for the sake of getting to rage. Technically, you are allowed to retreat, but it's usually not a good idea unless you're somehow at 5 wounds and don't want to take one more. If you beat the guard, you now get to your spoils phase. During the spoils phase, claim a number of resource tokens equal to your greed stat. Remember, rage can take you past the normal limitations of 6 greed, while magic cannot. And then other players who went to the same region will do the same, encountering guards and claiming spoils. Most of the action, though, should be happening simultaneously. If there are 6 players, you're not waiting for anyone else unless they went to the same region and beat you there. And now here, finally, in the titles phase, you can spend those resources on titles. There are 2 ways to pay. First, just pay the full cost. Put the spent resources back in the supply. When you do, you must proclaim in stentorian fashion your new name, such as, "I am now Vexus, the Unwavering." The level of drama is up to you. Or you can trade up by discarding a previously claimed title to reduce the cost of a new one. If you pay like this, you must proclaim in this manner, "I am no longer Vexus, the Unwavering. I am now Vexus, the Infernal." Put your discarded title in the discard pile, and you only pay the difference between the 2 titles. Claiming a title changes you. Adjust your stats and such as indicated by the legend and the infamy. Remember, if you discarded a title to pay by upgrade, you lose any legend or infamy due to that title. Also, if a title says that you must lose something, such as a damsel or magic, but you don't have that resource, nothing happens. You cannot lose that which you do not have. You may also show disdain during the titles phase, which means discarding 3 standard resources of any assortment to get 1 notoriety. And finally, you may shed titles. This means discarding a title from your hand and drawing a new one. During the titles phase, you can claim any number of titles. You may show disdain any number of times, but you may only shed twice. You can do any of these actions or none of them at your discretion. Day 1 is complete. Before you start the next day, all players should now choose their folklore. You were given 3. You must keep at least 1, but you might choose to discard one if it contradicts with another folklore you received, or if it contradicts with your dragon's playstyle. For each folklore you discarded, gain 1 magic. This does not trigger Opula's ability. Time for day 2. At the start of each day, remember to gain a magic. If you are Opula, you'll be gaining an extra magic. Then you'll do all that stuff again. Populate, declare, encounter, spoils, and titles. Repeat this process until the game ends. When is that? Well, 2 conditions must be met for the game to end. Someone must have 5 titles, and someone must have a 5-point title. They don't have to be the same player. When these conditions are met, play 1 final round and then add up your scores. Alright, let's talk about scoring. Add up your points from titles first. Then, add or subtract points due to folklore. Success or failure is determined solely based on the final state of the game. Then, add points from beating nobles and heroes, which are indicated on their cards, which you did remember to keep, right? Then, subtract any points due to excessive wounds. So, this player earned 1, 5, 7, 11, 13 points from titles, plus 4 points from neither rhyme nor reason to its depredations, but minus 1 from failing to earn "Does there not remain to our realm 1 brave knight?" Oh, here's 2 more from beating Lord Largesse and St. George, but minus 2 from having 4 wounds, bringing the grand total to 16 points. Is that good? I don't know. You'll just have to play Dragonhoard to find out. But win or lose, you still end up with an amazing name by which you absolutely should introduce yourself the next time you are at a party, such as the following. I am Vexus, the covetous, the resplendent, the infernal, and the ancient collector of cows, slayer of St. George and vanquisher of armies, of whom it is said, there is neither rhyme nor reason to my depredations. Beat that. Now, some finer points of play which I glossed over earlier. First point is brooding. During the declare phase, you may lay down a 0 for your visit. If you do so, then you are brooding. You are staying home, sleeping in, licking your wounds, and generally being moody about it. Lose a wound, gain 3 rage, and you get to shed up to 5 times instead of the normal 2. Magic and rage are both component limited, which means you can only have 6 magic, and you can't have more rage than there are rage cubes to collect. When you claim a title, remember you're supposed to say your name. Do I have to say my whole name every time? Maybe that's not your actual personality to behave like a dragon, but roleplay a little bit, okay? It's more fun if you lean into the theme. You are a dragon, and you expect people to know to watch out when you show up and be like, oh no, it's Fang. What? You mean Fang, the Stormwind of opalescent scales, the toothy and despoiler of cities? Yes, that Fang! Ah! Run away! Each dragon does have a unique playstyle, so when choosing which titles to claim, you do want to make sure to pick ones that enhance your dragon or offset some of its weaknesses. Nettle is an opportunist and an optimizer. Try to snatch low-hanging fruit until you get some titles that buff your stats. Smug has a win button, but it costs 3 magic. Any titles that get you magic or rage are going to let you use that win button more often. Kephalia wants to get wounded, so try to lose fights with other dragons or a big guard early in the game. Vexus wants piles of a single resource to maximize his special ability. You probably don't want to get titles that say things like, you must go somewhere with gold, because that makes it harder for you to use your ability. Fang gets to re-roll dice, so you've always got a second chance once your might gets high enough. But don't assume you can take a level 3 guard right off. Then again, you've got better than average odds against Siegfried. Opula's ability is most often going to be triggered by beating lower level guards, which give incidental magic, and any title that says gain magic whenever is a winner for you. Think this game looks fun? Follow the campaign on Kickstarter. Also, join the MSG Games Discord group to make sure you don't miss any news or announcements about this and any other games we happen to be working on. Links are in the description. Thank you.